As Indians were deported, India remained largely silent. Official statements said we are monitoring the situation. Consular support is available, but no strong protests, no diplomatic escalation. Why? A 24-year-old Indian student in Texas wakes up to an email. His university has been shut down. His visa cancelled, his future suspended in mid-air. And he is not alone. In 2025, thousands like him watch their American dreams collapse overnight. But behind the sudden crackdowns lies a much older war, a silent ideological battle over who gets to belong in America. In 2025, the United States has turned inward again. World's most desired destination is now building invisible walls made of policy, politics, and fear. This is the context of bigger picture today. After 2024 elections in America felt an aftershock. Donald Trump, or more importantly, his ideology, returned in full force. MAGA Republicans didn't need the White House. They controlled Congress, state legislatures, and national narrative. Immigration became the main battleground. Fox News ran nightly segments on immigration crisis. Southern states deployed the National Guard, but the fight expanded from illegal migrants to legal immigrants, especially high-skilled workers from our India. H1B visas, now framed as a threat, as loopholes, as a way for cheap foreign labor to undercut Americans. Congressional hearings used words like visa abuse and national security risk. Then became the 2025 USCIS directive. In just 3 months, H1B rejections surged by 40%. The war wasn't declared with weapons, but with policy memos. In Indian cities, Hyderabad, Mumbai, and New Delhi, US embassies lines looked normal, but inside, the game had changed. Interviewers applied maximum scrutiny. Tiny errors, rejections. Minor gaps, denials. The OPT window, the lifeline for students transitioning to H1B, was quietly shortened. STEM grads once had 36 months. Now, unclear rules, shorter timelines. In March 2025, 2 US universities were suddenly declared unaccredited. Over 2,400 Indian students affected. These visas are cancelled within just 48 hours. No warning, no clarity, just exit. The Department of Homeland Security blamed compliance failures but refused to publish the reports. Students scramble to find the new colleges suddenly or face deportation. The cost was emotional, and what is the message? America was closing its doors to foreign students. Indians were no longer the exception. A coder from Bangalore working in California got his H1B renewal rejected. New wage rule, new second chance, 5 years in the US, taxes paid, dream built is gone in one night. He had 60 days to leave, sold his car, ended his lease, flew back, jobless and hopeless. Online forums were filled with panic, with questions like, can we appeal? Is Canada an option? Fine, anyone know immigration lawyer? Once these spaces were filled with success stories, now silent horror tales. Tech giants began lobbying to reform. They needed Indian talent, but politics wasn't listening. What they can do at maximum. In 2025, being legal wasn't enough. If you were foreign, you are suspicious. Mental health cases among students soared. For many, their identity was tied to their American life, and that life was now labeled expendable. At the heart of it all was anger. In 2025, over 2.4 million undocumented migrants had crossed the US borderline, many fleeing poverty, violence, climate collapse, but to towns already facing job cuts and rising rent. They became the scapegoat. Even theft was blamed on them. Fox News, Breitbart, social media all amplified the fear. Trump's team knew what they were doing. Their ads didn't just target Democrats, they targeted immigrants as a class. H1B visa holder became a symbol, not of ambition, but of threat. The anger wasn't always irrational, but it was misdirected. As Indians were deported, India remained largely silent. Official statements said we are monitoring the situation. Consular support is available, but no strong protests, no diplomatic escalation. Why? Because the US is still India's most important partner. Semiconductor deals, Quad meetings, defense cooperation, too much at stake. India couldn't afford to upset Washington, so it chose silence. Meanwhile, Canada, Germany, Australia opened their arms. Indian students and techies began applying elsewhere. US university application fell 30%. The dream was being rerouted, not killed, just redirected. The story isn't black and white. There are no villains in this. No single victim. Just people caught in collapsing system. The American dream, once a promise to the world, now comes with a fine print. Who gets it? On what terms? At what cost? Indians in America are caught in an invisible war, not just between left and right, but between two visions of America, a fortress or a frontier. But hope still lives in lawsuits being filed, in students building network, in India preparing returnees with better job opportunities. Because when one door closes in life, a window opens, but someone has to build it first. Grand theater of geopolitics. Not every actor walks in the light. Some shape events before headlines even exist. India's intelligence agencies, especially the Intelligence Bureau, Research and Analysis Wing, RAW, operate in the invisible realm. Their work is completely hidden, but its impact felt across continents. What if I told you the India's role in 1971 creation of Bangladesh was not just military or diplomatic, but deeply covert? That today's cyber surveillance, covert ops, and quick alliances are India's silent currency of power. This isn't just about spies and secrets. It's about soul of national security and a battle of global influence that has already begun. So today, on the bigger picture, we are going to discuss the same thing. We'll step inside India's secret war rooms and explore how intelligence is becoming India's sharpest weapon.